You guys know what time it is. So as you see by the title, this is going to be both my guide and review for Lemon Zest, because why not just make it one video? Sorry this guide is coming out a little bit later than it should be. Yeah, I was busy. There will be chapters down below, so if you want to skip the guide and just go to the review / the gameplay, then feel free to do that. Okay, let's go. So on screen, you should see a guide that I have. This was not made by me, by the way. So shout out to the Tower of Builds Discord server, which will be linked down below, as they're the ones that made it. I do actually agree with this guide for the most part, but instead of just looking at it, let's actually go over it. So starting with artifacts, his best artifact is going to be Piercing Light. This is his signature. The reason why Piercing Light is so good is because after Lemon Zest uses his charge attack, no matter how much of it he uses, just using it grants him a massive attack increase. So if you want to be a Lemon Zest main, you need to make sure you get this artifact because it is just phenomenal on him. The other thing is that this attack increase actually lasts 12 seconds, which again is incredible. So yeah, make sure you pick this up if you want to be a Lemon Zest main. But his second best is going to be Sunset Pursuit, aka Rise signature artifact. Now, on paper, this should actually provide more damage than Lemon Zest's own artifact, but in play, it doesn't actually. The issue with Sunset Pursuit and Lemon Zest is that Lemon Zest is a weird mix of a continuous attacker with some bursts with his ultimate. The issue with this artifact in Lemon Zest lies in Lemon Zest's playstyle, which consists of consistent damage with his charge-up attack, but also big burst damage with his ultimate. But if he's not doing either one of these, he's just spamming normal attacks. The point is that it actually takes a lot more work to get the full effect of Sunset Pursuit than Lemon Zest's Piercing Light. So while it's not a bad option because he can stack up Sunset Pursuit, Piercing Light is still going to be the superior option. But if you have neither of those, then Artistic Flourish is going to be the best rare. This was the one place where I disagree with the guide. While I don't think Lonesome Moonlight is necessarily bad, I think you just get a lot more value out of Artistic Flourish, because Lemon Zest's charge-up attack hits actually count as basic attack hits, meaning every third arrow from his charge-up attack will do 40% additional damage. But like always, the rare is going to be worse than both of the epics. But if Artistic Flourish doesn't work for you either, you can also use Lonesome Moonlight, as the attack gained isn't horrible. The only issue with it is that you need to lose HP, which isn't ideal. Now, onto his equipment, his best weapon is going to be his unique Lightning Recurve. I don't think it needs an explanation why it's his best, so yeah. Now, the two viable super epic sets are going to be Sugar Feather Garments and Solar Knight's Armor. But starting with the Sugar Feather set, the reason why it's so good is because of the set passive, which reads that basic attacks have a 20% chance to deal 50% of attack as additional damage. Now, like I've stated before, Lemon Zest's charge attack actually counts as basic attacks. So what I mean is that every instance of damage from it counts as basic attack damage, meaning you have a lot of chances to actually proc this passive, leading to a ton of extra damage. And even outside of that, because a majority of Lemon Zest's damage actually comes from his basic attacks, you just benefit off of this so much. Not to mention that it's, well, free. Overall, this is a set that you do want to try and prioritize getting. But the other viable option is gonna be Solar Knight's Armor, like I said before. This set actually increases your damage by giving you stats instead of actually having a passive. So pretty much you'll have higher attack when going this set, but your overall damage will be lower. I'm pretty sure the difference is only about like 10%, so it's not the end of the world. For epic equipment, your best weapon is gonna be the sturdy baguette staff, with the boomerang candy just behind it. For headwear, the best piece is gonna be Radiant Golden Rose Crown, with the mysterious bamboo hat being the second best. For bodywear, Black Gothic Dress and the Celestial Candy Cuirass are going to be your best pieces. And finally for leg wear, Dark Assassin Pants and the Arum Dragon Armor are going to be your best pieces. Now for hidden powers, I'm actually going to put the hidden power guide on screen because I don't really think I can say it well enough in words. But essentially you want to prioritize crit damage over crit rate, and once your ratio is balanced enough, then you can start focusing on things like attack and defense penetration. And finally for teammates, Wizard Cookie and Rockstar are gonna be his best teammates, but a 5-star promotion Pistachio could also work. Also on screen you can actually see my Lemon Zest, which if I'm being honest, the power is only high because I have him at high promotions, as I did get incredibly unlucky with a lot of my hidden powers. There's a better look at the stats if you're curious. Alright, on to the review. Now, to be honest, I've been really excited to actually try Lemon Zest because ever since I saw his design in the beta, I was like, wow, that looks cool. And because I didn't actually actually get into that specific beta, I couldn't even try him. So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And when he didn't launch with the game, I was like, oh my gosh, where is Lemon Zest? But now that he's here, I'm really excited to play him. I overall think he's actually a pretty like well-rounded cookie, as he has some consistent damage with his charge up attack, but also some burst damage with his ultimate. But his burst doesn't even compare to Dark Choco, simply because Dark Choco is so good. So I would say currently for raids, Lemon Zest is probably the second best DPS, but according to some calculations that pros have been doing, his damage output is looking kind of rough compared to other Promotion 5 cookies. But either way, he's still by far the most fun cookie I've ever tried in this game, with only Crush Pepper even coming close. I also have a couple tips for you guys that you might be interested in hearing. The first one is that if you have his artifact, make sure you use a charge attack to get the attack buff before you use his ultimate, as without this attack buff, he'll do a lot less damage. The next one is that if you really need to dodge but it's on cooldown, you can actually use this skill to act as a mini dodge, as it launches yourself backwards. Also, make sure not to use your skill or ultimate if you have full charge. This is because these abilities grant you charge, so you're kind of wasting it if you already have full charge. This one you can actually apply to any cookie, but make sure you don't waste your dodge because you are very squishy and you will need it. This next one is actually specific to his 4th promotion, which reads off as, when Lightning Rod expires after 4 direct hits, Lemon Zest cookie gains increased light damage for a period of time. Lightning Rod is his passive mark if you didn't know. And the reason why this tip is specific to this promotion is that if the boss is ever stunned, make sure you get your 4 hits off on the boss before you use your ultimate, as a 24% light damage increase is massive. But lastly, I want to talk about my final thoughts. So I actually think Lemon Zest is an incredibly fun cookie, and I really do enjoy playing him. His machine gun playstyle is something that I've actually been looking forward to. But if you're someone that wants to pull for someone that breaks the meta, I'm not sure that Lemon Zest is exactly that cookie. While I don't think he's bad by any means, he doesn't seem to be as strong as people were hoping he would be. But I don't think you wasted your pulls if you did end up getting him and getting copies of him, as he's still a super solid, consistent range DPS. And his promos aren't really bad per se, but nothing really stands out about them, unlike some other cookies. For example, Dark Choco's final promotion gives him a 50% defense shred, which is crazy. So in summary, Lemon Zest is an alright DPS who has a lot of consistent damage with a little bit of burst damage. And while he's not necessarily bad to pull, I don't think he'll remain meta for very long. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, a like and subscribe would be appreciated, but not necessary. Also, remember to check out my Discord server in the description below, and also remember to check out the Tower of Build server. Until next time.